What are the major approaches to writing? There are various approaches to academic writing. 1. Expository approach. What is that? Expository writing sets forth facts. You can find this in textbooks, journalism, business writing, technical writing, essays and instructions. Then descriptive writing. It evokes images through rich description. You can find this in fiction, in poetry, journal writing and advertising. Then 3. Persuasive writing. This aims to sway the reader towards the author's point of view. You are persuading somebody to see your point of view. It is used in advertising and can also be found in opinions, editorials, reviews and job applications. You're persuading that person to, you're trying to persuade the person to give you a job. Persuasive writing. Then comes narrative writing. Narrative writing tells a story. It can be found in fiction, poetry, biographies, then human interesting stories, anecdotes, etc. Another phrase which you will come across when reading about academic writing is a rhetorical mode. What is that? Rhetoric is the act of persuasion. You're trying to persuade somebody to agree with you. You're using language in that particular fashion to make that person see your point of view. So this is a way of using language to effectively communicate your point. The term rhetorical modes refer to the different styles and techniques we use when we speak or write. So you can narrate, you can describe, you can illustrate with examples, you can compare and contrast and so on. So when you are getting a question as to what are the rhetorical modes, you can mention them. Narration, description, illustration, you can compare and contrast and so on. So when you compare and contrast, so a compare and a contrast essay is a type of essay that provides points of comparison between two or more subjects. True to its name, it shows how the subjects are similar in certain respects and how they contrast or they are different in certain others. Depending on the context, you can use the appropriate rhetorical mode. When you are submitting a research paper to some publication, you'll be asked to send an abstract. What is an abstract? When do I use it? An abstract is a condensed overview of a paper that usually includes the purpose of the paper or the research study, then the basic design of the study, the major findings, and a brief summary of your interpretations or of the conclusions. Abstracts are usually used in social sciences or scientific papers and are generally 300 words or less. Abstract is a kind of summary. An abstract is typically found at the beginning of the document and it acts as an introduction and review of the whole document. It may contain information about the background, purpose, results, and the contents of the work. An abstract typically contains 4 elements: the research focus, research methods, methodology, then the results, and the major conclusions or recommendations. An abstract can act as a standalone entity. Many organizations use abstracts as the basis for selecting research. What about a synopsis? A synopsis is the gist of your planned project submitted for approval from competent authorities. It gives a panoramic view of your research for quick analysis by the reviewers. A synopsis is longer than an abstract. A synopsis is usually provided when you are approaching some firm or some university for registering for your PhD. So you send a synopsis, and then when it gets approved by the committee, you will be given the chance to pursue your research in that university.